Hey guys, now it's time to start our discussion about variables. So why you need variables? We need variables because in our programs we'll want at some point to store data, and to store data we need to use variables. For example, you want to store the name of the user or the age of the user. For this you need variables. So what is a variable? You can imagine a programming variable as a friendly container with its own unique name. It's like giving a personality to a cozy storage space in your computer's brain. This special container doesn't just sit there. It holds information that your program can tweak, adjust, and have fun with it as it runs. It's almost like having a digital body that's ready to adapt and play along with the script of your code. So they're like containers which have labels, which have name. Just as we use labels to organize our belongings in real life, variables act like these digital labels for information. They bring a touch of organization and order to the digital chaos. You can picture them as the superheroes of your code, making it more flexible and dynamic. They're not rigid like fixed values. Instead, they're like chameleons, changing color to seamlessly adapt to different situations in the coding world. So, when your program encounters different scenarios, these variable personalities step out to the plate, ensuring that your code can gracefully respond to whatever comes in its way. So let's create a new project now. Let's open IntelliJ IDE. I will open IntelliJ IDE. I'm gonna create a new project. We have the previous project here. Click on new project. I'm gonna call it variables. It should be in Pascal case. And I'm gonna check this add sample code. What this add sample code is gonna do, it will add the main function, the main method, and it will add that for us. So it will auto generate that for us. We don't need to type that like we typed in the previous video. So I'm gonna click on create, and now it will auto generate the main method. Sometimes I use the word method and function interchangeably, but they are not quite the same. Alright, so we have the main method and the main class auto-generated for us. I'm gonna delete this code because we don't need this code now. And we'll talk about methods and functions in depth later in the course. Now, we have here the system.out.print, but now this is system.out.print f, not print line. So we don't have print ln here. And what is the difference? Let me show you quickly the difference. So let me duplicate this line of code. So I'm going to press Ctrl D, and let's change this from print line to just print to see what happens. So now if I run this, but let me first increase the font because it's better for you to see what I am doing here. So I'm going to increase the font of the code to make it more clear. Alright, and if you don't know how to increase the font, I just press Ctrl and I scrolled with using the scroll. And to change the font size, you go here, you go to settings, you go to the editor, general, and make sure that you check this change font size with control mouse. So wheel in. So you can use the control mouse wheel to change the font of the code. I'm gonna keep it as it is. Let me make it smaller. All right. Now if I run this code, so now we have print without ln at the end. We have hello and welcome, and we have hello and welcome on the same line. So what this print ln is doing is adding the text, so the text which is output in the console on the next line. So it's adding a next line. So if you don't put print line here, it will don't have the space. So I'm gonna run this. Right, so I have hello and welcome. Now let's say that let's delete this. Let's delete this. And let's change this to hello Alex. And let's press Ctrl D to have this outputted multiple times. So if I run this, have hello Alex, hello Alex, hello Alex. But now if I want to say hello Christian, which is my second name, I need to go in every place where I have Alex and replace Alex with Christian. Another way to do this is to use variables. So to use specifically the string data type variable. The string variable is a variable which can hold only text. And what I can do is I can declare the string variable, and then I can refer that variable here with its name, and whatever the content of that variable is, it will be outputted in the console. So let's see how we can do this. So let me go here, not delete that, press enter, and I will type, let's add a line to make it more, to increase the readability. I'm gonna type string, so with a capital letter S, string. This is the type. So now we're saying to the computer what kind of data this variable is gonna hold. So what kind of thing we're gonna put in this container. I'm gonna call it name. So for next we put a space and we give a name to the variable because we can use it later. We can refer it in our code later, as you'll see. So string name, I'm gonna put equals, and I will type here Christian. Now we need to put semicolon to end the statement, and I will go here, I will delete Alex, and what I will do is I will go here and I will put plus. So outside the quotation marks, I'm gonna put a plus, and now I will refer the name variable, because if you hover over the variable name, and this is important to know, that whenever IntelliJ is trying to say something to you, and if something is gray out, IntelliJ is trying to say something to you. In our case, the name is gray out. That means that if you hover over it, it says variable name is never used. So you just declare the variable here, we assign the value to the variable, but we don't use that variable in our code. So I'm gonna put here plus, and now I'm gonna use the name. And we'll do the same thing for the next ones. Let's make this a little smaller. Okay, let's leave it like it is. Now if you run this, so I'm gonna run it from here. Have hello Christian, hello Christian. So now what the program is doing, and now as you can see it's highlighted because the variable is used, and if you hover over, it says string name Christian. It says hello, and this plus, what is doing is concatenating. To concatenate something means to add something. So here we are adding the text Christian stored in the variable name to the text hello. So when the program executes this line of code, it will see that here we have hello plus the name, which is a variable which contains the value Christian. So this is how we do that. This is why you get hello Christian. So now if I want to change this to Christian with 2 N's, and if I run this, now I don't need to go in every place where I'm using the variable and to change it. I can change it when I declare the variable, and the value it will be reflected everywhere where that variable is referred or called. So I have hello Christian with 2 N's. Now what I can't do is I can't go down here. What I can do, I can type here name, and I can change the value of this variable using the equals operator. So I'm gonna put equals, and now I'm gonna assign a new value. I'm gonna put double quotation marks, because if I put single quotation marks it will not work. So double quotation marks I'm gonna put, and I will put here Alex, and here we put a semicolon. Again, IntelliJ is helping us here because it graded out the value Christian, and it highlighted the value Alex, because now if you run this, our variable will have a different value, because on line 7 we assign a different name for our variable, which is Alex. So this is what we can do. But if I call the variable name again here, and I put equals, and I try, let's say, to put a number, and I put semicolon. If you hover over here, it says you require type string provided int. So it's saying that on the line, let me see, 6, we declare our variable as a string, you call it name, and because we said that it's a string, it will only hold text or sequence of characters. Because we try to put a number, which is an integer, we can't. In order to have a variable in which you can store a number, we need to use a different type of variable. So we need to use a different container, which is an int. So I'm gonna go at the start, I'm gonna type int, and while I am typing, IntelliJ is giving us suggestions. So I'm gonna type int I'm gonna call it number. So let's actually call it age. So I'm gonna call it age equals, so the equals operator with which we assign a value, and let's put 24, which is my age, and semicolon. Now, again, this is gray out because we don't use this variable in our code. But what I can do here is I can go here, I can put another plus, I can put double quotation marks, and I will type here your age is, and at the end of the quotation marks I'm gonna put a space plus, and I will type age. Now let's delete those that we have here because we don't need. Now let's run this code. And we get, hello Alex, your age is 24. But let's add a space here because as you can see it's bundled up here. So get, hello Alex, your age is 24. So this the code is working fine. We have two variables, one for storing text, one for storing numbers, which is an int, an integer, and our code works fine. So I'm gonna end this video here, and I'm gonna continue the discussion about variables in the next video.